welcome to my channel. My name is Rose. My channel is about avoidant personality disorder, which is something that I have. I'm just gonna start calling it an avoidant personality because I don't really think I guess it be classified as a disorder, but I think that when you constantly are thinking about, I have this disorder, it's almost like saying you have a disease, and it's like it's something that you can't get past, which I think might not be true. So I've been with this personality comes a lot of loneliness, and with a lot of loneliness you get depressed. So I was quite depressed for a long time, and I don't think I realized how depressed I was until recently. Like now, how I think when I look back on how I was thinking like a decade ago, I feel like I've moved forward a lot, and I've made myself a lot less depressed. So I wanted to share the things that I did. I'm going to share 3 things. There's a lot, but I'm going to share 3 things that I did to help me get past my depression. The first thing that I did was I started meditating, and whenever I see people talking about meditating online, there's inevitably multiple people that will be like, well, I just can't do it. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and I've never been able to do it. I've never been able to just sit there. So if you haven't tried meditating to help out with your depression, the reason I recommend it, you're just having to take command of your mind. It's a practice in managing your thoughts. So if you're meditating and you're trying to think to yourself, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm going to practice a breathing exercise, right? Like breathe in, hold, breathe out. If you're doing that for 10 minutes and you can actually make yourself do that, you just accomplished something. So you've added a little bit of, endorphins into your brain, right? So you've made your brain a bit happier because you have accomplished something. It's like filling your confidence and happiness with like a lever, like your gas tank. So the more that you accomplish, the more gas you have in your tank. So you do something, you accomplish it, and then you're kind of happy with yourself for having accomplished that thing. Now, meditating is doubly cool because you don't really have to you don't have to be successful at it for it to work. The whole point is that you try. So if you can sit there and try to focus on yourself for 10 minutes, focus on your breath, focus on trying to let your brain go. Even if you don't accomplish it, you still practiced doing it. And the practice itself is hugely beneficial to you. Especially, I found that there were 2 different times where I had basically like an out-of-body experience, and it wasn't anything magical. It was just the point where you in your mind, you were not on the mat anymore. You were somewhere else, and you were serene and happy. And just being able to pick up those moments of serenity, just adding them to your brain, it adds up. Eventually you get a little bit happier by doing it. And I found it to be really helpful to me. I'm not good at it. I'm just not. Like I said, I've had two experiences where I felt like I was able to transcend a bit to some other headspace. So, and I've been doing it for years. So don't feel bad if you can't do it yet. And I found it to be really, really helpful with my depression. And I don't do it as consistently as I should, but every time I do it, I feel like I accomplished something. And if you ever read books on habit training, they tell you that one of the things that you want to do is accomplish small things so that you can build up that gas tank, so that you can build up your desire to do other things. So you can be like, oh yeah, well today I've already meditated, I've already ate a healthy breakfast, I woke up on time. You know, if you can add certain things to your brain that you know you've accomplished, they make you slightly happier. And that helped me out. I'm not saying, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I'm just saying I used to be pretty depressed. Like, especially after I had my first child, I actually went on antidepressants because I was freaking out all the time. I was like, I have this new child and I failed because I had a C-section, and I'll make a whole other video about that. um, yeah, so meditating helped me out a lot throughout the years, and I'm not super consistent about it. I don't do it every day. I try to do it every day, but I would say I do it maybe like 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah. And every single time, I just feel better after I get done with it, because I'd be like, I already meditated today. Even if I only did, on average, like, I've got so much stuff going on that I try to like grab a few minutes wherever I can. And sometimes it's like I'll put the timer on for 10 minutes, and after 7 minutes, I'm looking at the clock. So I'm not that great at it. But it's always a small task that I've accomplished, and it makes me a bit happier, if you know what I mean. So number 2 is journaling. So a lot of people say that you should journal at the end of the day, and I know it's a stoic practice that they journal at the end of the day, and what they do is they try to go backwards throughout their day. So they will say, I ended the day in this state of mind. So whatever state of mind that is, how did I end up here? And then they try to go back throughout the day and connect the dots as to what led to wherever they are at the end of that day. And that's what they write down. I find this to be impossible to do. I am only good at journaling if I do it in the morning. That's the only time I'm ever like even slightly consistent. I have journals going back to when I was like 5 years old, but they're all like in 2 week spurts. But journaling has helped me out a lot, especially when I was having to do calorie tracking, when I did I do a lot of meal planning. I do weight tracking, like, so I'll write down what I ate, I'll write down how much I weigh, I do all this kind of things. That's helped me a lot with weight loss, but just writing down about my day in the morning helps a lot with my mind space as well. You can work out things on paper that just in the simple act of writing them down make you figure more things out with them. So say you're trying to figure out why you're depressed. Maybe if you write at the end of the day, every day, I ended the day depressed. Why did I end the day depressed? What was the thing that I did just before I went to bed? Maybe you watched a bunch of really sad TV. Maybe you're just chemically depressed. I don't know. But journaling for me has been really beneficial because I've been able to work out weird things in my brain, but So one of the things that I figured out with my own mind in through journaling was, and also through just YouTube videos, I listened to this one lecture by a guy named Manly P. Hall, and he talked about how you were the commander in your head. It's like, instead of there being just you in your head, he talked about it like you, like who you actually are, your soul, the person in charge is the commander. And he said that it's almost like you have different voices in your head that are telling you different things. And so I was thinking, this sounds a lot like, if you watch Star Trek, sounds a lot like Captain Picard, right? And then he has all his little guys, right? Like he has Data and Deanna and all the people. Anyway, he's the commander, and they're all different aspects of, like, one of them is intuitive, and one of them is warring, and the other one is, you know, the assistant. So I thought, well, I wonder if that's true in my own head. And so I was journaling and trying to work this idea out in my mind, and I came up with this. So my boyfriend and I were kind of messing with it yesterday and writing on it, so it's got a little extra words on it. And I also don't know how to flip it around. I guess I'll just have to draw it backwards. But I wrote my names on this piece of paper. So if I do it in like a mirror, is that how I'm supposed to do it? But the reason I did this is because I felt like I was being like there were different aspects of my personality that were speaking to me, and I was acting like they were always telling me the truth. Like, why would my head think this thing if it's not real? So I started naming these different aspects of my mind so that I could stop that thought process. So it made sense to me to use my own name as, I can't remember the name. I don't know if there is a name for this actually. I don't think there's a name for that. So yeah, never mind. Anyway, so I named all of the different aspects that I could hear all the time, right? So perfect me would be like Picard, right? The captain of the ship and the commander. And so that's just Rose. That's just me, who I am. And that's not necessarily me, who I am right now, but who I aspire to be in the future. So perfect Rose, the one that I would like to eventually be, but am not currently. There was Roseanne, so my full name is Roseanne, so I named that one Roseanne because that is the old me. That's like me when I was a child. Me up until like I moved out on my own. Yeah. Elizabeth, very shy Rose that most people don't know, might not even know exists. Like, everyone knows me as shy, but they don't know that person. If it makes any sense. It might not. So then I did lowercase r, uppercase O, lowercase s, e. So I did uppercase O because that signifies, in my mind, most more shape of being round, like a circle. So that's one. Fat me. Rose, round like a circle. Rose, poor me, and I capitalized the S because you can turn an S into a money sign. And then Rose with a capital E is mean. that way. That's all of them, but capital E probably because of the long E in the word mean. But because I was able to name the different aspects in my mind, I was able to kind of to definitely say stand up to those thought processes and say, like, this isn't, I'm not, I don't have to think this. I don't have to be depressed. I don't have to, like, my mind is much stronger than all of these negative aspects of my mind, like as a whole, I'm bigger than all of these little aspects of my mind. So I can stand up to them. And what happens when you stand up to a bully? Usually they step down. So if you keep, recognizing these thoughts that are going on in your brain that just you don't have to be thinking about. You don't have to be listening to the voice in your head that's being like, oh, you're a fat piece of shit. Oh, you're fucking always gonna be poor. Oh, you're fuck that person. They criticize you. You don't ever have to talk to them again. Fuck them for life. You don't have to listen to any of it. You can just so the time that I realized this was true, I was driving down the street and I was trying to turn the steering wheel, and I felt like a fat roll on the side of my stomach, and my mind went, "Ah, you're such a fat piece of shit," and I said, "Shut the fuck up." And I've like almost never heard that voice again, which is cool. Just being able to stand up to negativity in your own brain, I've found to be hugely beneficial. So maybe try it out. Maybe just try out journaling. Just try writing down exactly what happened to you that day, and that's just where you start. And then when you get further along, you can start saying, well, why did this happen to me today? Did I plan out my day? Did I utilize my time properly? That type of thing. And then you can move on to more philosophical questions, and you can move on to, I don't know, whatever the hell you want to fucking write. It's your own piece of paper. You can write whatever you want to on it. Yeah. Anyway, journaling has massively helped me with my depression. And when I'm talking about not having depression anymore, like, I'm not depressed anymore. I'm happy. Like, usually, consistently. And there's still problems that I have, but I'm so much more hopeful, I guess, because I started just doing random things and building good habits, and I just started trying everything that I could find on, like, how to make yourself happier, because I didn't really want to take pills. I just felt like it was false, but if you take pills, I don't feel like you taking pills is false. I just didn't want to do it for myself if I could help it. So I was like, I'm going to try everything besides the pills first, and if it doesn't work, I'll take the pills. And so I started doing all these things, and I found them to be very, very helpful. So maybe it'll help you as well. Number 3 is affirmations. So if you don't do affirmations, I highly recommend them. And you're not doing anything, like some people think about it like it's the Secret, right? If anybody's ever read that book, it's like The Secret. As a matter of fact, I think the lady Abraham Hicks, I think she actually does affirmation videos. I've heard them, so I know she does. I don't think it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, affirmations. So I listen to good day affirmations, affirmations for confidence, affirmations for abundance, all these different type of things. But it's not because I think that in some magical way money is just crawling its way towards me and happiness is doing the same, and so is confidence. It's because I'm trying to trick my brain into thinking that those things are true. So if you hear something like someone says, wow, you're pretty, or wow, you're smart, say you hear that phrase, you're smart, you're a smart person, and you're like, no, I'm not. You've heard that phrase one time, but if you hear, like, say you hear it on a video, right, it says you're smart, you are smart, you are a smart person, and you say to yourself, I am a smart person. You've just heard that phrase twice. Your brain has just heard it twice. If you say it into a mirror, I think they say that counts as 3 times. You're looking, like, directly into your eyes and being like, I am a smart person. But the point is that you're trying to convince your brain that certain things are true, so that your brain just goes about its day believing that those things are true. And in doing so, you open yourself up to a lot better opportunities, and you also convince yourself that certain things are true. Like, if you feel like you are an ugly person, you can listen to confidence affirmations on beauty, and it's just in your head, you're just telling your brain something is true. You're telling your brain, I am smart, I am beautiful, I will have a good day today, and your brain is going, all right, this is obviously true, let's get going. And you change your mindset in a way that, if you do it consistently, I've never seen it not be true that it's helpful. I've never listened to affirmations like 10 days in a row and then been like, why does my life suck so much right now? It's not happened. It's just, you just have to convince your brain that it's true. And, like, you have to think that you are in charge. You are the commander. You're the one that can tell your brain what it has to think. If your brain's constantly telling you, like, we should just lay in bed all day and be super sad, you have to command it, no. Today we're gonna have a good day. Today is gonna be a successful day. And it might not work at first. It might not work for like a couple of weeks. I think the first challenge that I did with affirmations was, I think they said 21 days in a row, so it was 3 weeks. So it was just some type of, like, I don't know, like good morning affirmations or something like that. And it was like 10 minutes long, and I would listen to it every morning, and I did it for 21 days, and my boyfriend and I started a whole new path in life. Like, I think we're on a very good path right now, and I think it started because I convinced both of us, that it was possible. And it's not possible if you don't believe it's possible, but it might be possible if you do believe it's possible. So maybe I should do another video on the scientific reasons for affirmations, because I've actually read a bit about it, and it's pretty interesting. Your brain is so incredibly powerful, you don't even understand. Like, if you study speed reading for just like 2 days, you can learn a couple of tricks that'll have you reading faster, like, immediately, because your brain will just suck up knowledge like a Hoover. So if you're listening to these affirmations in the morning, your brain's going like, really? You're telling me we can be rich and beautiful and healthy? All right, like, imagine thinking that in your brain, rather than thinking, I'm such a fat piece of shit, I'm gonna be poor for the rest of my life, fuck everybody, nobody loves me. Imagine, instead of thinking that to yourself every morning, and without even trying, like, all you gotta do is go to YouTube and click something affirmations. A bunch of videos are gonna pop up. You just click on one and listen to it for like 10 minutes. Just do it for like a month. I swear, it's like at least it was for me, it was impossible to be like super sad during those days, because I just told my brain we weren't gonna do that. I affirmed something that I wanted to be true. And then, you know what else helps? Just starting out with gratitude, listening to gratitude affirmations. Just, I am so thankful that there's breath in my lungs, there's air in my lungs, that there's a beautiful sun shining today, It's not raining. It's like 75 degrees out. It's great. I live in America in the 21st century. Like, you know, on the scale of like, you know, cavemen to most other places in the world right now, I think that I feel lucky every day, and I try to start every day with gratitude and with affirmations and with journaling and also with meditating. I do all 4 of them in the morning, actually. I actually started doing meditating at the gym. So they have these massage beds that you can lay in at my gym. It's a water bed. And so you go lay in there, they give you like 10 minutes. And so I started putting on, what do you call it? Guided meditations. So I would say guided meditation 10 minutes because the bed would go for 10 minutes. And I would try to listen to that for 10 minutes and get the massage at the same time. I don't really recommend it. It's cool to like kind of focus your brain, but it sometimes doesn't work because the massage thing is moving up and down your spine. So if it's not in rhythm, it kind of throws you off. So don't necessarily recommend doing that, but yeah. Yes, those are my 3 things for today, and I have a bunch more. So like I said, I became a happier person without I took medication for like 6 months for postpartum depression because I really felt like I needed it. So like I was spiraling. It was scary. So I'll talk about that in another video, but yeah, it's a journey, it's a process. It takes some intense work mentally, you know. And I remember there was one point where on this journey where I was talking to my therapist about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I feel like I just realized that I've been a dumbass for my entire life. You know, like me walking around thinking like I'm all super smart. I wasn't. I probably am still not. But that was a hard transition, just realizing like, damn, I've been wrong this whole time. Yep. It was hard. It took a couple of months, and that was a difficult transition, but once I got past it, I've just been like just happy, you know? Just being able to figure things out in your brain, just being able to understand why you are thinking the things that you're thinking. It's a long journey, but it's totally worth it. Anyway, just change the words inside your head and change what your brain hears and change what you allow yourself to think. Write down what you're thinking so that you can understand your own thought processes. And I found this to be really helpful. I don't know if anyone else has ever tried anything like this. You know, maybe let me know. I would love to hear about it. And I'm not, please understand, I'm not saying that I think that there's a bunch of voices in my head talking to me. I'm not a schizo, I promise. I just, I wanted, in order for you to be able to stand up to a bully, there has to be a bully to stand up to. So, creating the bully and banishing the bully are really helpful. I recommend it. Anyway, I should probably go because this is getting very long. Nobody's gonna watch this whole video, but whatever. I'll try to make it shorter next time. Oh, check out my shirt. Because happiness is free. I have to figure out how to flip the camera or something. Alright. Bye. Oh, like my new backdrop? It's all wrinkled and shit. Bye.